Hey there, Zesty Boys, and welcome back to the Zesty Podcast. My name, of course, is Tony Shire.
And I'm Joey Becknell.
And we are here on the 21st episode of the Zesty Podcast. And because of that, now that the podcast is of drinking age, Joseph has a nice little beer to drink while we're podcasting. Because we've been doing this for 21 years. One episode a year, 21 episodes.
Man, good catch.
All right.
Never would have known.
It's also just because I edit them and have to title them.
And I don't watch them.
Exactly.
So.
I mean, I don't watch them. I just put the name on and send them out to the world. Then get complaints, and then that's about it.
No, I actually do watch them, and I noticed last week I wasn't in it.
Oh, yeah, I did notice that. Well, if you want to know the real reason, it's because on the last podcast, we were doing a lot of racial discussion. And even though it was, like, good-natured, and I feel like we were, like, saying, like, not inappropriate things, we were having good conversations, I feel, since we're both kind of in the job search, having our names tied to a racially motivated podcast is not the best thing for either of our careers.
You may be right, and look at us getting racial again.
There we go. That's the last we talk of it. We're just going to talk about super fun things. I noticed you wore your Rowdy Ridge hat again here, and
yeah, I did.
I was hoping it would be like a fun thing where you wear a different hat every time so I could talk about it, but I guess
you got to tell me these things.
Yes, you weren't on the same wavelength as me.
Damn it. No, I've got enough hats to wear a new one for 4 weeks.
Really? I mean, I could honestly, we could take turns because so you only have 4 hats is what you're saying.
No, I've got a lot of hats.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, I was thinking like every day you wore one for 4 weeks. I'm like, all right, that's probably about as many hats as I have. Cause
yeah, that's probably accurate.
I love hats, and I collect them, and now they're just all in a drawer, and I wear none of them because I have short hair now.
Yeah, when my hair starts to get to this length, I start wearing hats more because my hair annoys me.
Really? Yeah. I start wearing hats probably like when the back of my hair starts to get a little like ratty, and when it gets a little mullety, I start wearing hats because then it starts to look good. But I don't feel like I can wear hats when I have short hair because my ears are too big. Aww. So I cover them by these headphones.
Buddy, you don't got big ears.
I got big ears.
No, you don't.
I do.
Buddy.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna take those
headphones. They ain't big, but put them away.
Whenever I wear, what kind of like I used to wear like really big hats when I was like younger, just because I would buy hats that I thought looked cool, or I would get gifted hats that were too big for me. Yeah, and I'd tuck my ears into them, and it looked real silly when I look back at pictures of it.
Was that a thing for you when you were younger? Like parents buying apparel that was too big and saying you were going to grow into it?
Yeah, like we went to SeaWorld one year because we used to live in Florida, so we go to SeaWorld probably twice a year there in Busch Gardens. And my mom bought me this tank top. It had a shark on it. It was really cool.
Nice.
It was way too big. She's like, all right, sharks. You'll grow into it. And then for like 3 years, I did not grow into it and just forgot about it. Then found it like last year, and I missed the period where I could have been wearing it. So it was too big. Then it was in the closet when it was like prime shark tank top wearing years. And then put it on like fairly recently, and it was too small.
Yeah, well, little did you know.
Story.
Little did you know that you were being saved from wearing SeaWorld and promoting them during a time of great
blackfish
strife
and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I could have been their saving grace.
You could have been.
They're actually rebranding SeaWorld a lot to be more about the adventure park and the roller coasters. Like they're getting rid of most of the live shows.
Well, as they should.
Yeah, they definitely should.
Have you seen Blackfish?
I have not. I don't like to watch things that make me sad.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I love watching sad things. I just haven't watched it.
No, I understand that, though. Sometimes you need to kind of protect yourself a little bit. I hate watching sad things, but I did watch Blackfish. It was very informative and very interesting.
I really like documentaries. What would you say your favorite documentary is?
Probably Pawn Stars. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say the same. You took the words right out of my mouth, Joey.
Bingo.
I have a Rick from Pawn
and
Stars
then I immediately
tattoo
said just
ass.
Kidding to save myself from getting slander.
Exactly. So you got the real answer out, but then you're like, just kidding.
Yeah.
It's like one of those, like, wouldn't it be crazy if I did this to see how people would react if you did that? Like, wouldn't it be crazy if I got a haircut? And like, no. Like, I'll just shut up. I'll do it.
It's like that one meme where the guy like accidentally sends a dick pic and it's like, oh, wait, sorry, delete that. I mean, if you like it. No, seriously, delete it. Unless.
You ever sent unsolicited dick pics, Joey?
I can very confidently say I never have.
I have never sent unsolicited dick pics.
I don't think it's ever crossed my mind either.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm going to break the ice with a picture of my cock.
I don't know, like, what goes through, like, the guys' minds that do it if they're just like, all right, well, she's doesn't want me, but maybe she knows how big my hog is.
Yeah.
That'll get her all ready to go.
Well, I firmly believe that that's like a porn thing. Like that dick size can immediately turn a girl. Like,
yeah, that's just.
I'm not a girl though.
That's just from porn brainwashing, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Like, this is. What was I gonna say? Oh, there we go. It's back in my brain. So there was
Dick brain.
Dick brain. There we go. They were trying to do this study to see the effects of porn on like young male brains and
I
stuff
bet it's
like
horrible.
this. They tried to do it, but they couldn't find anyone who didn't watch porn to be a control group, so they couldn't do the study.
Holy shit.
Like, it's insane.
That's scary.
Like everyone, I think it was like college age males or something like that. But like,
yeah.
it is a drug. Like.
Absolutely.
Absolutely is a drug. And it's crazy because, like, this is a whole new era of just kids who grew up with porn, essentially, and, like, what their views of sex are compared to, like, every era before us.
I think it's
interesting.
Truly one of the most toxic things, like, ever.
100%. Like, the amount of stuff that I've seen is just, like, if you think about how many dicks that you've seen from watching porn compared to every other member of your family through history, you've probably seen at least 1,000 times more dicks than most people in your family.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy, and
it's scary. It really is. I love the Pornhub account though on Twitter.
Yeah,
the other day I saw it's like Pornhub Aria, right? I saw she tweeted like on November 1st. She said, "Wow, 20 million of y'all have already failed No Nut November."
That's funny.
And she just said something like, "You're fucking weak."
I do love corporate Twitter accounts.
Yeah, Wendy's does it well.
I remember YouTube tried being like a sassy corporate account once, and like everyone was like, "Hey, before you do that, you should try to fix your content or fix your platform from being in flames because it's like YouTube is just kind of."
Which is where we'll be uploading
exactly.
this video.
Check us out. But yeah, YouTube has a lot of drama all the time with monetizations and unmonetizations and who they let do what and stuff.
Well, the like trending page. Have you ever just gone on to the trending page?
I try not to.
It's just horrible.
Yeah.
It's like Logan Paul and like just weird shit.
It's crazy to think about like how many YouTube accounts you've never seen that have 1 million subscribers. Like there are these people who just have like massive following who've like you've never even heard of. Like I find like stumble on people all the time. It's like they have like 5 million subscribers. How have I never heard of them? Like it's weird.
It's really interesting. Like I don't know. We just talked about dicks being seen by our ancestors. Think about like what a 5 million person following would look like 100 years ago.
Oh yeah, you could start an army with a 5 million.
You'd be a damn phenomenon.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I feel like that. Like when you get up to there, you're no longer a YouTuber, and that's just your business at that point.
Yeah,
for sure. You have to have. I'm sure they have PR people. Like if you look at like Logan Paul or someone, I'm sure he has a PR person. I'm sure he has a manager. I'm sure he has like all this stuff that's just like you would normally see in a business, but just for his. I mean, I think. There's that whole thing where he quit YouTube for the fight or something because, I don't know, it's always on my Snapchat, and if I'm looking at stories, it always ends up, like, going to that, and it's like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, dude.
But I guess it's a rematch of something because I guess he lost a fight to someone last time or something.
I don't know what it is either. I know it from Snapchat as well, though, just because all those little stories I never watched, like, those are the most clickbaity, weird little things.
I don't look at people's stories even if I know them usually. Like it used to be when the stories were above like the Snapchats, I would click on all of them just to get rid of like the red circles around it because I hated seeing there was just like a notification thing. But now I like that it's on its own separate page because I just never go in and watch any stories. And like all of them are just so cancerous. It's like, we found what happens when you watch 15 million YouTube videos. They're just like, we tried the most expensive hot dog in your neighborhood. I don't care. Like BuzzFeed, Daily Mail, all those can go fuck themselves. Unless they want to sponsor the Zesty Podcast, then we'll push anything that you want us to. We'll talk about Logan Paul.
We'll switch to Snapchat.
Yeah, there we go. We're a Snapchat exclusive now.
We'll be like Zesty Barstool or some shit.
Zesty Stool.
I watch Barstool on Snapchat.
Do you?
I think that's funny.
Yeah, I feel like
they can make me laugh.
With Barstool and Old Row, like things that like I think are like funny sometimes blend together with that like super bro frat humor and stuff like that, but a lot of it I don't think, like it's just like not my style of humor, and a lot of it's just kind of like, all right, there's people just did it so they could get on Barstool. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
for
really
sure.
like funny stuff, but like there's like a fine line between bro humor and my humor, but like sometimes it like intermingles.
Yeah, definitely. So what you're trying to say in less fancy terms is sometimes bro humor makes you laugh.
Yes, in less fancy terms. Sometimes it makes me laugh, but sometimes it's just like a guy jumping on a table. It's like,
Yeah.
right.
90% of that type of shit, I'm just like, dude, why did you do that? Like, I see it all the time at like football tailgating events where like someone jumps off a porta potty like onto a table or something,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, ah! And then like the Barstool guys are like, dude, this guy was way too lit for that party. Look
Yeah.
at what everybody's doing here. And it's just like,
Yeah, I
Man.
don't know, like play-by-play of people doing stupid shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
If Barstool wants to sponsor the podcast again, I will be very, very quick to take that offer.
no,
But,
they
like,
get a laugh out of me
yeah,
usually.
like I mean, like Barstool and like Old Row and all those like people, Rowdy Gentlemen, they like sponsor a lot more shows than you think they would. Like,
Yeah.
like they have some like good like it's not like Mr. Barstool, I think Stool Presidente, whatever his name is. Like he didn't say
Mr.
like
Stool.
he didn't say like, all right, we're gonna make all these podcasts and all this content. It's more like he sees podcasts that he thinks are good, and he's like, hey, we'll
Yeah.
pay you guys. Just put this little Barstool logo and like push our products. Like,
yeah.
and in that sense, like, it's not the content is inherently bad to me. It's just like a lot of the content that gets put on those pages, I just don't really like.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can have like if we got sponsored by someone, like we're not a Barstool
Won't
podcast.
happen,
It
but-
won't happen. But if we got sponsored by Barstool, it would be like it wouldn't really change us except for
Yeah.
like the pushing of products and stuff like that. Probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
There might be a lot more bureaucracy that goes into it than I know about, but.
I don't care about bureaucracy. All I care about is bureaucracy.
Yep. Too much red tape for this boy.
Mhm.
That should be our thing when we say something relatable, like, "Oh, did you see the news?"
Mhm.
There we go.
Oh, there it is.
We're slowly becoming a more structured podcast. Catchphrases. We'll make T-shirts.
It just says,
Mhm. It has
It's like
our face.
Bazinga, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Bazinga is $1 billion catchphrase.
Dude.
Are they still making episodes of The Big Bang Theory?
I can very proudly tell you I have no idea.
Yeah, like that's one of those shows that my parents just love, and so like
Yeah.
occasionally I would like walk in while they were watching one and see an episode. But I'm glad I don't know anything that's going on in any of the characters' story arcs. I don't know I don't even know some of the new characters. Like, I'm
Yeah.
glad that I'm not in that realm.
When I was in high school, early high school, I can remember there was a time where I really liked that show.
Really, my little brother was a big fan. I think it was just because my parents watched it, and like he was like
Yeah.
middle school,
I watched
high
it with
school.
my mom.
Yeah, and so he liked it. He actually had a shirt of Leonard. Is that the big nose guy?
No, Howard?
Howard. He had a shirt of Howard, and it said like, it was some weird like molecule science joke. It says, "Are you blank 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 blank?" Because I want to unzip your jeans, and his chemistry teacher made him turn the shirt inside out for the rest of the day.
Who was his chemistry teacher? Oh, wait, never
yeah.
mind.
And we're back.
Yeah, welcome to the Zesty
Welcome
Podcast.
to the Zesty Podcast.
Today I'm doing the intro. It's me, Joey Becknell, and my friend here, his name is...
I'm Tony. Oh God, we can't do that anymore.
God, we got to start over again.
Okay, let's one more time. Three,
Okay,
two,
3,
one.
2, 1.
All right, and we're back.
Man.
Sorry, we did a name drop and had to edit it out because we don't want that person to get murdered by our fans.
Yeah.
Because you know we have some feisty fans out there.
Specifically in
Spokane,
Switzerland?
Spokane, Washington.
Spokane, Washington?
Shout outs. Is that in Washington, Spokane?
I have no idea what
All right.
Spokane, Washington is.
Kind of sounds like a type of dip.
Yeah.
I only choose Spokane.
Oh, my.
Oh my.
I'll take Spokane Black.
Y'all got Spokane Black at this here convenience store. As a budding young medical professional, I only choose Spokane Black.
That's right.
All right. I wonder what the next cigarettes is like, and not like Juuls or anything, but like the next thing that's gonna be horrible for you that we find out in a few years.
Yeah.
Porn, but
It's well, yeah. I think that's already being horrible for us.
Yeah.
But I saw some commercial. What is this like Evo? Have you seen that?
no.
Oh, dude. I don't remember like what it was called. Maybe it was Evo, but it's like a nicotine tablet that you like stick on your tongue. It's like acid.
Oh,
Like,
hell yeah.
but like
I know there's nicotine lozenges now.
What is that?
That's like a lozenge, like a cough drop. It's just kind of like something it's just like you suck on it and get nicotine. So yeah, I didn't mean like nicotine cigarettes or anything. I mean like what's the next thing that people
the new
push?
drug?
Yeah, what's like the new like drug or new thing that's like, oh shit, we should not have been using that. Like Roundup was one like recently. It was like, yeah, anyone who used Roundup, you should probably join this joint lawsuit because you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how it's like consumer products are literally just still being tested while they're being consumer products. Like,
right.
It's just like we're the control group by not using it, and the people who use Roundup are like, well, they were the lab rats, and it causes lung cancer, so don't use that anymore.
Oof.
I don't know what it is. There's some kind of cancer with Roundup weed remover, but
I don't mean to get too conspiracy theoristy, but freaking like Wi-Fi. No one knows what that shit does.
Yeah.
This is the first, like, I don't know, for the last, like, 15, 20 years, we've had, like, Wi-Fi currents in the air.
I'd say less than that. I'd say probably, like, 11 years is when Wi-Fi got big.
Yeah.
Because, like, I got my iPod Touch when I was in 5th grade. And my dad, and, like, he's a pretty tech-savvy guy, gets, like, the newer things. And that was probably 2007, 2008, and we got Wi-Fi. Well, I guess that is almost 12 years now. Yeah. Time flies.
Yeah, we're old, dude.
We're old, yeah. We're just guys who we're post.
Couple boomers.
No, we're still millennials. Wait, no, are you 96?
I'm 97.
Oh, you're not a millennial.
Yeah, you're a millennial.
I'm a millennial. Yeah,
I'm right at the Gen Z cutoff.
96
dude.
Was the
what
last.
Up, Gen Z?
See, I just like to say, okay, boomer.
Yeah.
Did you see that people on Twitter are like older people are like saying boomer is the ageist N-word, basically. It's like just as offensive as the N-word.
Oh,
like,
my
and it's
God.
like these people who are like fairly popular older people, like among older people, they're like, it's still bigotry. Like no matter what you say, boomer is the new N-word. It's like,
all right,
no, it's like, okay, boomer.
Sit down, Karen.
Like I just love that whole okay, boomer phrase. It's like we've just been berated by old people, like, oh, well, maybe if you would stay in a job for more than 2 years, just okay, boomer. Like they just hate it that you won't argue with them, essentially.
Dude.
And that's generalizing all boomers. I know there are some boomers who aren't like that.
Yeah.
Like
well, those
mom's
boomers would laugh at us.
Yeah.
Like they'd think it was funny that we think it's so stupid to be boomers.
Okay, boomer. Like it's just such a good thing, and people are getting so upset about it. I love it.
Dude, I love it too, man. I saw some funny tweet on me_IRL.
Ooh, not me IRL.
No, that one's that's cringe, dude.
Yeah.
Although me_IRL is becoming pretty cringy as well.
Yeah, it happens. That's just the ebbs and flows of a subreddit.
It's just become too oversaturated. But anyways, the like meme was like talking about how boomers hate like millennials for being snowflakes and like act like we can't take anything, and then it showed like us calling them a boomer and them freaking out. But yeah.
I did not see that meme, but I had an idea for a video that was very similar than that I was gonna make. So
let's make it right now in the middle of this podcast.
In the middle of the podcast, we'll just set it. Oh, we would have to use that camera that we're recording the podcast.
An embedded bonus video.
The secret Easter egg video. My favorite thing about this podcast is this little white glass bowl that we have.
Yeah.
Because it confuses so many people. Like, people have, like, asked me what it is and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, well, it's just a bowl.
Yeah.
Like,
I like how right now I can see the bowl has stuff in it.
Yeah.
I can see what's in the bowl, but they can't.
But you can't see what's in the bowl. Like, and then this isn't the only bowl of this I had. Like, there's one of these in my room, and I was like, wait, why'd you move that bowl? I think I asked you. I was like, why'd you move that bowl? Or maybe it wasn't you. It was someone. And they're like, what bowl? I'm like, that one. They're like, oh. I didn't move it, and then I found out there's multiple of these.
Nice.
I didn't even know I had them. We should just start adding bowls.
Yeah, well, I think we should spice up the table a little bit next episode.
Well, I think I have a pretty good idea of what you want to spice it up with.
You know
you want to say
what
it
I want.
On the count of three?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Snake plant. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, I was telling Joey before this podcast that I found at Home Depot you can get little snake plants, probably about 6 inches for $3.98, I think they were. Then for $9, you can get ones that are probably like closer to 1.5 feet, 2 feet. And then for $15, you can get like 3-foot snake plants.
Nice.
And so we're going to try to get some snake plants in here, because if you don't know, snake plants are probably the best plant you can have for a house to remove toxins out of the air, to produce oxygen, to remove smoke. And like they're low light, low water needs. So you can just keep them in this back little corner back here and turn on this grow light that we use for our podcast light maybe once every week. The snake plant will be fine, and it'll produce some nice O2.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Nice.
I'm fired up on snake plants right now, dude.
We're getting to it here. Come back, Joey. Gotta reel him back in.
Sorry. I love the Going Deep podcast.
It is such a good podcast. This is basically just a long advertisement for their podcast.
It really is.
Basically, the episodes where you weren't on it, we didn't talk about it. But every episode where you're on it, we talk about it.
It's my favorite podcast. There.
You think it's your favorite one? If you had to rank, other than the Zesty Podcast, top 3 podcasts that you like, what would they be?
I can hit it right now.
Okay.
I can hit it hard.
Go.
Number 1 is actually the Talking Chop podcast.
Oh, is it a Braves podcast?
Yeah, it is. Let's not get into that.
We won't.
Number 2 is probably Dude Soup by Funhouse, and number 3 is probably actually Going Deep with Chad and JT.
Okay, those are good answers. So my top one at the moment is probably Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard.
I need to get back into that.
Yeah.
I was super into that, and then I got out of it.
I got very into it. Like, my mom was, like, telling me to watch it for a long time, and I just didn't. And I started listening to it, and I don't know. He's a very good host. I always skip the ads. So sorry, Dax. You're not getting a buck off me. Because I don't think it's like YouTube where you have to click the ads. It's just kind of he gets paid to put the ad on there.
Right.
Either way, I digress. Second and third, well, because there's 3 more that I like, but it's hard. So I'm going to say my second one right now is the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Just because I listen to it a lot, and it is good.
Mm-hmm.
Third, Hardcore History with Dan Carlin.
That's one that I've never watched, and I need to watch it. You've been raving about it.
Oh, they're real long, and they're real good. Like, I just went back and re-listened to a bunch of them. Not a bunch of them, like 2 of them, because they take so long.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like a smarter person after listening to those, even though I'm not. But a close fourth, one that I used to be really into but haven't listened to in probably close to a year is Comedy Bang Bang. That's like an improv comedy podcast. It's very good, hosted by Scott Aukerman. And like they just kind of like Scott Aukerman always plays his character, or always plays him. He doesn't play anybody. But then like guests come in and like talk about themselves, and then the guests leave, and then some random person comes in. Like I know Paul F. Tompkins, who does the voice of a lot of cartoons. He'll be like, like I think John Lennon sometimes. Then he's Andrew Lloyd Webber, Cake Boss. He just does all these characters and stuff, and just kind of they improv for a while, and it's some pretty comical stuff usually.
It's really fun.
Yeah, and then there's like people like Bobby Moynihan from SNL come on there, and like there's all sorts of people from the improv world.
Improv comedy is probably like one of my favorite sources of comedy.
I really want to go to
pure.
I want to go to an improv show. I've never actually seen an improv show. I mean, I've seen like Whose Line Is It Anyway and stuff, and like. But that's like televised. I mean, those are definitely improv games. Like, you'll probably see those at a show, but I want to go to a live show.
Yeah.
Let's make a date. You and me will go to Dad's Garage.
That'd be really fun.
And we'll go down to Old Fourth Ward, go to Dad's Garage, catch us an improv show.
Let's do it.
They do them, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. Different types of improv shows.
I would love to, dude. That sounds great.
They have a bar. They have snacks. We can get a little drink on.
Nice.
Go see a show.
Nice. Just you and I.
Just you and I. We'll go hit the town.
Love that.
I love it too.
Yeah, dude. Young Harris, my former alma mater.
Let's sing the fight song real quick. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Young Harris, how we love thee. All right, we won't get too far into it.
You gotta cut that shit out. Yeah, I have no idea. The fight song I think got sang at my congregation, which is, for those of you out there who don't know what a congregation is, like the opening ceremony that you get like the first day of college. And then they sang it again at graduation. And both times there was a little pamphlet that had the words. I don't fucking know what the Young Harris fight song is.
Our alma mater, I know, was like that. But then our fight song, like some people knew the lyrics. Like at games, they'd like the band would play it.
Oh wait,
and then it'd be like "Go Blue" or something. I don't even know that.
Yeah.
Like it was just everyone mumbling while the band was playing. Really.
Okay, well I misspoke. Our alma mater was like that.
Okay.
Young Harris don't even have a damn fight song.
They ain't fighting no one.
Or maybe they do. I never heard it in my 4 years.
Did they have any athletics at Young Harris?
Oh yeah, dude. They've got a fire baseball team. But what's the best is their men's soccer team.
Really?
They slap, dude. And women's softball. Which, I mean, people knock it. I don't know why. Women's softball is so intense and fun.
I just don't like hearing people screech from the dugout all the time.
Yeah, that gets annoying, but you just gotta like deal with it.
Did you ever referee anything when you were in high school?
No, I always wanted to. I think that'll be something I do when I get into like my 40s and I have like a crisis.
Become that ref.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's always a need for an older ref because I used to ref soccer. And I was in middle school, and so like I was a small boy. Like, like thinking about it back then, I'm like, all right, I'm older than these kids. But like, if I watched me back then reffing soccer, it's like, who is this child? Like, I mean, I've definitely made some bad calls, not on purpose. Like, there was one call that I know now was pretty. Like, I didn't watch soccer; I just did the ref stuff. Yeah. But like, it was like during like kind of like a playoff game, and the one team was winning like 5-0, but I made a bad offsides call because I got the jerseys mixed up, and then like not a good thing for a ref to do.
The kiss of death.
But like parents were like yelling death threats and shit at me and stuff, and my ref like was like, all right, game's over, and like ended the game because people were getting so violent and stuff. And then like later on during that day, because it was a really long day of reffing for me, because it was like a tournament. Yeah. And the team that I made the bad call against moved on. They were gonna win anyway, so it was like towards the end of the game. But like the parents were like saying to like my ref and to the other coaches like, watch out for him, he's gonna screw your game and stuff like that. And the old ref was just like, keep it moving. Like it's like some 40-year-old guy who was like just like, yeah, it happens. Like,
dude.
Like, I don't even know. Youth soccer, people get into that.
Dude, just any sport that your kid is playing in, it is ridiculous how crazy parents get.
I'm going to get my kids into esports. I don't want to wake up early on a Saturday. Like
hell no.
All right, here's a PS4. Go nuts.
Dude, esports are huge, but like
they're
seriously,
gonna be
parents
even
huger, dude. Huger. But dude, parents at those games are the most like
aggressive,
but like also I just want to like bring a camera and just film and record everything, because the stuff that those women and I hate to generalize, but it's the moms. The moms go insane,
especially at baseball games and stuff like that. I'm glad I never was like an ump or anything. It sounds horrible.
Oh yeah, dude. They wanted you dead.
Like, you gotta realize that it's both it's all three. A Saturday, this guy's working for like a little above minimum wage, and he's a human. Like, he's gonna fuck up sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it happens. I don't know. And especially when it's like someone like my age, when I was in like middle school, I was probably 12 or 13 at the time, and they're just like I'm gonna fucking kill you to like 12-year-olds. It's like, all right, well, someone's taking this a little too seriously.
That's like our society though, man. Like, one person says something, like I'm thinking about James Gunn right now with oh my god, his Marvel movies.
James Gunn, okay,
the director of which ones did he do? The Space, Chris Pratt's in it.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, thank you.
the Space, Chris Pratt. Parks and Rec season 8.
I wish, man. Parks and Rec in space, that'd be tight. But no, like he had that like tweet from like 13 or something. Like 2012.
Was it a racist tweet or was it like?
I didn't actually see the tweet, but apparently he like had already apologized for it. It got brought up in his like initial contract with Disney. Yeah. This is like the oldest news we could ever be covering.
Yeah.
But like that, like I see that happen so much in like our society. I think about, okay, here's a relevant one. Game of Thrones, the D&D guys, everyone's like celebrating that they just got pulled off Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I just like, I mean, like, yeah, I thought their writing was horrible in season 8, but I think they screwed up. And I think that they're probably still pretty damn good writers.
I mean, like the writing was not great for season 8, but it's better than I could have done. Yeah. And like they're still really good directors. Like, it was directed so well, but it was just like, it wasn't bad writing. It was just writing that didn't fit in this season. Like, yeah, we haven't talked about Game of Thrones for a while, but yeah, like the writing was good. It just wasn't. It was like Arrested Development season 3, essentially. Like,
nice, good comparison.
Like, it was really good writing and it was a good show, but it just didn't really fit with the seasons beforehand.
Yeah, for sure. But like, yeah, everyone. I actually unfollowed recently. We'll go back to Reddit. The Free Folk. Do you follow the Free Folk?
I saw you join New Free Folk or Old Free Folk or whatever.
Oh yeah, I got really fired up. When the season ended and they had all that like drama about like the moderators, I got fired up. I got involved. I like the drama. But That's such like a niche thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got fired up about how bad the writing was and about how bad the like season ended. But like now that I'm like, a few months after the season, I'm like, dude, just
now the embers are burning out.
Yeah, the embers are totally burning out. Which I think a couple podcasts ago I roasted them for Gemini Man.
Yeah, well, Gemini Man was trash.
I didn't see it. Did you?
No, but I know it was trash.
Yeah, I've heard it was trash.
It was a box office flop.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, most of that is probably attributed to just their names being attached to it.
I don't know. I think even like I didn't even know it was them who directed it, and I was like, this is gonna be a terrible movie. It's just one of those like summer blockbuster action movies.
Exactly.
Like
you're right.
They either do amazingly or they don't do well. That was like World War Z. I can't remember if that did well or not.
It did well.
Did it?
That was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Apparently, the book is like, I know it's always like the book's so much better, but like the book's about like the politics of all the countries having to deal with this, and like a lot more like. Apparently it's like really in-depth world building and like all this stuff, and then the movie's just kind of Brad Pitt walking in slow motion with zombies.
With a bunch of zombies.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked the movie though. I remember watching it.
I did too. Yeah, I heard that about the book though. Like I just heard the focus in the book is more on the politics than like the weird zombies.
Yeah, it's more about living in a world populated by zombies, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is fun to think about. Like,
it really is.
I got really into the zombie. I was really into the zombie craze, but I was never like so into it that I got like zombie outbreak response team like bumper stickers and stuff.
Funny.
Yeah, but there was a game they still played at my college. They played at a lot of college. Humans versus Zombies. I don't know if you ever got into
fun.
that. I love Humans versus Zombies. Like people always like I liked playing it at night when like it was everyone on campus was essentially playing the game, but like during like the day when there was like classes and like a ton of people, it's like I didn't want to be wearing like a bandana on my head and carrying around a Nerf blaster. So like I liked playing it at night for the missions because it was like more fun. So it was like everyone's kind of in this big game.
Yeah.
But like on campus during the day, it's like I don't want to carry a Nerf gun to class.
Well, yeah, on campus during the day you get like the people that are like fun sponges who like are walking around on campus and like they see you wearing like the like colors and they're like, oh dude, that little douche actually signed up for this stupid ass college event. I'm just in college to like fuck bitches, get drunk, and like I don't want to get involved in like campus activities.
Yeah, and campus activities are so fun. It is really hard. It really is really hard to beat that stigma of those fun sponges because like I don't know why, but I cared what they thought about me. And it's like, like I don't want to embarrass myself. Like I don't even know these people. Like now it's like, yeah, fuck it. Like I mean, I still probably if I went back for another year, I'd still probably be just the same. Like I gotta kind of like look cool on campus because people are gonna look at me like, but. I don't know. It was also really annoying because there was one dining hall that I always ate lunch at, and there was one entrance and exit. And so, like, there would just be like 1,000 zombies standing outside of it. So it's like if you go in there, you're basically dead. Like, you're so dead. Like, and I liked going in there, and so I didn't play during the day, which was kind of cheating, but I wasn't aiming to win. I was just aiming to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I wasn't the winner, the last human alive. Like, I made sure to, like, not be. Even though I specifically remember the first time I played, the time that I got out, like the Nerf gun that I had was like an off-brand Nerf gun, and it was like one where it didn't have a trigger. You just like slammed it closed, and it shot a dart, and it like hurt. Like it was like the most painful Nerf blaster I've ever been hit by, and it would leave like little bumps on you. And this one girl, like we were doing a mission, this one girl came up and like tagged me, and I shot her, and she's like, "You didn't shoot me, you're out." And I'm like, and I could see like a little red circle like on her stomach, like where the Nerf bullet hit her.
Naked?
No, she was wearing like a crop top or something, like a torn off. She like got into it, was kind of cosplaying a zombie.
Oh my god!
But like I saw where I hit her. She's like, "You didn't hit me." I'm like, she's like, and like I was like, okay, and she's like, "Give me your card and stuff," because you had to have like a card. I'm like, fuck it, yeah, whatever. And as I gave it to her, and then went out and was a zombie for some missions, but then like when it was like it was like 1,000 zombies and 3 humans, it's like I don't really want to. I'm kind of done. Like I had my fun with this game. I don't really care to see it through.
Right.
But it was a very fun game. I do quite enjoy HVZ, and they would do like themes and stuff and make sheet signs all over the place, and it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
The club at Southern got real into it.
I'm sure they did. We did it at Young Harris, but it was very like small scale. And also Young Harris has like at times less than 1,000 people. So everyone knows each other. So you can't really do that thing where you don't play during the day because they're like, oh, that's Joey Becknell.
He's a human. Get him.
He's a human. And it's like, oh, dude, I'm not playing. I'm just going to class.
Do you like volleyball?
Dude, I love volleyball.
Are you good at volleyball?
No,
Okay.
I'm not good at volleyball,
Like,
but I love it.
Okay. Do you like playing it or just like watching it?
I prefer to play it. I don't think I've ever like sat down and watched volleyball.
If you okay, I'm gonna run you through a scenario. You're playing volleyball. It's 3v3.
Nice.
Ball comes over. It's coming towards you. What's your game plan?
I'm setting.
Okay,
I'm setting
okay.
front line.
All right, we need to start playing volleyball together because I really love volleyball, but almost everyone I've ever played with is just kind of like ball comes to them, slap it back over the net. It's like that is not fun, and it usually ends up hitting the net, hitting the ground, or going out of bounds. Like I love even when I took a volleyball class, like there was like one of my kin's PE classes was a volleyball one, and we had teams of like 8, and so it'd be like 3 on or 6 on, 2 off, and like you rotate like every so often and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we had probably 5 good people and 3 not so good people, but 3 not so good people is enough to like make it so the game goes super slow, especially if there's some on the other team too. So it's like there's 5 people who will bump set and spike it, and then there's one person who will either just like slam it or just not know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And when you get a good game of volleyball going, like there'd be times when it would line up where the good people on our team are against the good people on the other team, and we'd get like really good volleys going and stuff like that, and that's just like so fun to be a part of.
Yeah.
But I have yet to find a group of people that I can play volleyball with that is fun to play with. Like,
yeah.
I'm not trying to say I'm like really good, but I'm like good enough to play a casual game of volleyball.
Yeah. I know what you mean. To amend my statement earlier, I don't think I'm like that good, but I think there's like tiers. There's like bottom tier, which is like those people that like won't set. They just like immediately are slapping it over, have like no form, straight into the net, or like they're hitting it off the side of their hand out of bounds or something.
Yeah.
And then there's the mid tier, which I think is where I fall.
B tier. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I fall there where like I know how to set.
Yeah.
I can like hit it back if I need to. But like A tier, the top tier, is the people that can make like the athletic plays, like go up and freaking like spike it.
You don't know how tier trees work. It's S tier is the best.
Oh, whatever.
Then
Okay,
A
fine.
plus, A, B, and then low.
Well, I guess whatever.
So S tier would be like Olympians. A plus would be like college volleyball players, like really good. I'd say A would be like people who played in high school or like are like that good where they like
for sure.
like make athletic plays, but not like Olympians or not like college players. Then B tier is casual people. Bad tier,
but like
bad
they know
people.
the rules. B tier knows the rules.
B tier like can get games going and stuff, but it's not going to be like nearly as intense as like a A tier game.
And a B tier player isn't going up and winning a spike.
Yeah, I mean, not saying like the bad players on good teams are support players, but like because there's probably people who are the best on the team, but they're just primarily setters.
Yeah,
but like people who can accept the support role on a team are the kind of people you want to play with. People who don't just care about spiking. Like I spent most of my time setting, like because I mean like even when I played casually, just because I knew that I would either have to hit it over like everyone else was doing, or I'd set it, and so I'd try to be the person to set it, so at least the person who was going to hit it over would have a better ball to hit. But I thought I got pretty good at setting. Could like set it like across the net and like have 2 people jump up and one of them hit it and the other one fake out. Like, so I think I'm like, at least when I used to play in like that class, I was high B tier. I think like I was almost A. Like I think I could have joined like a rec league or something like that. But I think me and you, we should play. We should find at least 2 other people so we could play beach rules. But I'd like to find at least 1, 2, 3, 4 people, and so we can get 3v3 going.
Yeah.
I got really fired up about volleyball recently because I've been driving on Highway 9 because 400's been having a lot of like road work and stuff. And there's this like Hispanic family that lives just off of Highway 9, and they get these like, I just drive by shortly, but they get these intense games of volleyball going. Like people are like barbecuing and stuff.
Dude,
and this is like,
we should just roll up one time.
Like I've seen them playing. It's not even like weekends, just like weeknights they're playing. And then like I saw them setting up. So they play like every day. They just have the net laying down the front yard, set it up, play volleyball.
That's awesome.
Like, I don't know. I love volleyball.
That's like good old fashioned fun right there.
Yeah, like you just need a ball and some friends.
Exactly, dude.
But
yeah, I think like one of the dirtiest plays in volleyball, and I love to see it, is when 2 guys go up for a spike, like one person to spike and one to block the spike, and the person blocking like fakes it and then like lifts it over the other person, and it just like falls behind him.
Trick plays.
Oh man,
best trick plays in volleyball history.
I love that. Gets me fired up, dude.
See, I feel like this is some good sports talk. Like, we're not like trying to like recap.
We don't know nothing.
We're not trying to recap the Braves. We're just talking about our joy of volleyball.
Exactly.
Our love of volleyball.
Exactly. We should just like we should put a volleyball just like right here.
That'd be good. I have a volleyball.
A volleyball made of snake plant.
I bought one for spring break. Took it to spring break. This was like my freshman year, I think.
Didn't play.
No, it was sophomore year. We did play, but it was all people who were just like, hit it over. Like double hand slap, hit it over as soon as it comes to you. And like I was very visibly upset, I think. So it's just like, oh my God, like this is not fun at all.
Yeah.
Like I think my mom calls it jungle ball, which is why she'd never played volleyball with us when we were kids, because it was like she's like, I don't play jungle ball. And so
what does that mean?
that's just where I think that's what she called it, when everyone just like slaps it over and like no one's like working as a team. She's like, yeah, I would not enjoy playing with my children if we're just doing that.
No.
And so she never played with us. And now I have a hole in my heart.
Yeah, you've got this like negative relationship with volleyball because your mom passed on her hatred of people that play casually.
No, she's played with us since, now that we're like adults and kind of like can
but
get
only
it going.
then.
Only
she
then.
was
Yeah,
like, I'm not playing with these fucking children.
Yeah, I mean, I like that mindset. She's like, yeah, they're my kids, I love them, but fuck that. I'm not gonna play jungle ball.
Dude, I'm not gonna stoop to their level.
I'm not gonna like. I drove by like one of my neighbors the other day, and it was like a grandma playing frisbee with like a toddler, and the kid was just like throwing it on the ground. The grandma was picking it up, walking it over to the kid. I'm like, this sounds horrible.
Yeah.
That is not what I'm going to be doing with my children. They're going to be playing esports so that I don't have to deal so that I don't have to deal with them. Sign my kids Team Liquid or whatever, an esport. Cloud9.
I don't know anything
Citrus,
about that. I just know like Overwatch teams.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, I don't know a lot about esports, but like when I used to watch like competitive Dota, like it'd be like, all right, this is Team Na'Vi. Like that's an example. I don't know if this is true or not, but I know it's true for other teams. Or like Cloud9, I'll say that because I know it's true. Cloud9 has an Overwatch team. They have a CSGO team. They have a Super Smash Bros. Team. And so like one esports team has all these different like teams, if that makes sense. Like they all wear the Cloud9 banner. And like jerseys, but like they play different games.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of interesting.
Very interesting. I need to look more into that.
No, you don't.
Okay.
That's like, I don't know. Watching video games is fun and all right, but it's not something that I would recommend just getting into. Like, I need to start watching, like, especially if it's a game you don't play.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
I need to get into CSGO more. You don't.
I don't know.
Do something productive.
I like playing. Well, I haven't played Overwatch in a while, but like
I've never played Overwatch.
Dude, it is fun.
I think I went to your house once. And you're like, you want to play Overwatch? I was like, okay, and then you just played the whole time and didn't pass the controller.
My bad. I fucking do that.
What would you say your favorite video game is?
My favorite video game of all time is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Geralt
of Rivia.
Geralt of Rivia.
The Butcher of Blaviken.
I tried listening to the audiobooks, and I couldn't get into it.
I've read them all now.
Yeah,
so
I bought you some.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did that one Christmas.
I think me and Mitchell both chipped in and got them.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
that.
And you got me a Milwaukee shirt, and then Mitchell still hasn't given me a gift, and he keeps saying it's in the mail. So Mitchell, go fuck yourself.
Fuck you, Mitch.
It was like a shaker bottle, I think. So it was like in that brief moment when we all got into the gym, kind of.
Yeah.
And then
I'm going to the gym after this.
Are you? Ooh.
Yeah.
I need to start. Like I've been it's been like I'm not gonna go to the gym. All right, maybe I need to go to the gym. I'm like right at like the last step where I think I'm probably about to start trying to go regularly.
Yeah.
Do that for a month and stop.
I started going regularly during the summer, and I was really pleased with my results.
Mm-hmm.
But now my body is just so soft.
Yeah, I just like the best I felt was last semester because like I was running a lot. Like when I run, it's just like getting out there sucks, but like once I start running, it's like all right, I feel really good, and then I feel amazing afterwards. Like I just feel good the rest of the day.
For sure.
And then you just feel healthy too because you're doing what your body's made to do. Like humans are made to run. That's like the whole hunting thing. Like what is that called? Do you know? Persistence hunting. That's what it is.
I didn't know that.
When you chase down like a zebra or something just by running at them.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I chased down a good zebra.
Yeah, I know, exactly. See, that's what, like, that was my thing. I was like what was getting me into running and why I kept doing more distance. I'm like, I want to be able to, if shit hits the fan, chase down a gazelle. Like that's what I want to do.
Which you will never be able to do, even if you're at the top of your game.
No, that's like a whole thing. Persistence hunting. Have you never heard of that? That's like in Africa and stuff. They literally run down a gazelle. Gazelle sprints away. They just keep running at it. Gazelle sprints away because gazelles are made to run fast for a short period of time. Like, so they can get away from you. You have to know how to track too. But like, eventually you just keep running them down. Like, they can't sweat, so they like sit down and pant, and they eventually just get too exhausted to move anymore. And you just run up on them, stab them, and then you have food.
Damn.
Like, persistence hunting, it's crazy. Like, you can do that with deer. You can do that with anything. I think the two animals that you can't persistence hunt are dogs and horses, and they're the two that we domesticated. Like, persistence hunting's pretty badass. So you should watch a little like YouTube clip on it. It's crazy.
Kind of makes me sad.
Yeah, and then I was reading this one post. I don't think it was on Reddit actually, but they were like, imagine how terrifying that would be as an animal. Like, you're just kind of hanging out eating grass and shit, and then this thing starts running at you kind of slowly, so you sprint away, think it's gone, it keeps coming at you, and just for like hours this happens. This Terminator thing just keeps running at you at a mild pace until you're completely exhausted. It just runs up on you and stabs you. Like, it's terrifying.
Yeah, that is horrible.
Because like they don't know to like just if they just like, and they can't sweat either, so they can't just like run like casually for a while. They just have to like sit down and pant for a while. So
I think it's funny if that gazelle wanted to, if it just ran back at you.
Oh yeah, like
it like would win probably.
Yeah, like antlers and shit. Like,
oh yeah.
But yeah, persistence hunting's pretty badass. Like, I'm gonna look up how far normal persistence hunts last.
You got it. Well, after this podcast, as we always do, we're gonna be doing a little beer review. So follow the Instagram Zesty_podcast if you want to know what I think about this beer, and if you want to watch Tony's reaction to tasting this beer, which is usually negative.
The persistence hunt is still practiced by hunter-gatherers in the central Kalahari Desert in southern Africa. The procedure is to run down an antelope such as a kudu in the midday heat for up to 5 hours and a distance of up to 22 miles.
Jesus.
I got to 18 miles, and it was pretty toasty that day. It was not Kalahari Desert heat, but
yeah.
I was close to persistent hunting. But you don't think about you have to carry all that food back.
Yeah.
And they don't carry carts with them.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, persistence hunting, super badass. I'm going to start running again and get up to 22 miles. New goal.
You know, yeah, it is badass, but I just think that sounds so miserable.
It does, but like if you're like stranded in the Kalahari Desert, like, oh man, what am I going to do for food? Don't have a gun or like I have a spear, but like you got to get up to an animal and just persistence hunt it down.
Man.
5 hours of your day, like think about it. You go to work for 8 hours so that you can buy food and shelter. You build your shelter, and then you just spend your day hunting down food. You don't have to work.
I hope I get stranded with you in the Kalahari Desert because I am not preparing myself for that kind of.
You build the shelter. I'll chase down the kudu.
I can do that.
Right.
I can definitely build a shelter.
Shake on it right here. There we go. the pact is made.
Yeah. I can build you a shelter, but I'm not chasing down a fucking kudu.
I think it's like something to do with our like butts too that like gives us like this like some. I remember like I'm not gonna give any real information in this statement, so be prepared. I watched like a Vsauce video and he was like, "Why are our butts shaped like this?" And it had something to do with persistence hunting. So yeah, that's a little teaser for a Vsauce episode.
It is crazy. Our butts are freaking strong, man. It's probably one of our biggest muscles.
I'd say, yeah, and it's one of the best looking muscles. I think,
sure is.
Like according to both sexes, I think a nice ass is appreciated. A good tush.
Which, speaking of asses, I'm gonna be squatting today.
Ooh, squat day.
Yesterday was chest and arms.
Today's squat. Today's legs.
Today's legs. Well, it's a push leg day.
What does that mean?
It's a. Have you heard of push versus pull exercise?
Yes.
So squat is a push exercise because you're pushing weight.
Yeah. How would you do a pull? I guess like the leg lifts and stuff like that. Would that be a pull leg exercise?
That would be a push. Like calf raises.
Or I was thinking like quad extensions or what, leg extensions. Like where you have the machine, you kind of like lift your legs up.
It kind of depends if the weight's like on front, like resting like on your. What do you call that? Shin. That's a push because
really?
like you think about it, you're pushing the weight up. But if you're like reverse, like laying on your back, and the weight's on the back of your calf.
Oh, I
You're
see. I
pulling
would have thought
into
the other
you.
way, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wish that I just had mad quad separation. Have you ever
Dude,
seen
that's
those
what I
guys-
want.
Like, those
That's
fuck-
all I want.
legs look like if a dude gets like fucking dope quad separation, that's like, man, that dude put in
Yeah,
some work.
Exactly.
Like, just I don't even know. That's probably a lot of that's made in the kitchen too, because you sort of have like low body fat and like be like eating like perfectly right.
Yeah.
So I've seen like marathon runners, they have it too, and like they don't go to leg day at all. They just run.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
Quad separation, that's
Sure is.
that's a life goal.
That's what
that
I
haven't
want.
put any work into.
I just farted.
All right. Well, good thing we're in a closed studio with no windows or air circulation.
Man.
So we're about to get into that, and I'd say that's a good time to end the Zesty
Sure is.
Podcast. Thank you
Sure
so
is.
much for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one.
Sorry about all this.